Hello, I'm your host Omnea, and you're listening to A Degree Further, the official podcast of the graduate school at Hood College, where we feature current students, alumni, and faculty who are innovators on our campus and in our community. In this episode, I sit down with Patsy and Cameron from the beginning of the semester, where we discussed our goals and what we would like to see at the end of fall 2022. Please enjoy this flashback episode for the last episode of Season 1 of A Degree Further. I'm speaking with two really cool people, Cameron and Patsy, who are both currently students within the graduate school and social media ambassadors. Do you guys want to give a little introduction of yourself, what program you're in, and your roles as social media ambassadors?
Cool. I can go first. My name's Patsy. I am currently in the Hood College counseling program, specifically in the mental health counseling program. And I'm a social media ambassador, which means if you see things that are on the Hood Graduate School social media, it's probably from either me or Cameron. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Patsy. I'm Cameron Rogers. I'm in the business administration program for Hood College's grad school, and I'm also a social media ambassador. So I cover similar things to Patsy, writing of blog posts and interviews and other things to help promote the grad school at Hood.
And what made you both decide you wanted to pursue a master's degree with Hood College?
I'd say for me, it was getting an edge over the competition in the job market. I've been looking for a job in the pandemic, and I kept getting edged out by people who would have slightly more experience or some networking connection. There were a few close calls where I almost ended up getting a job, but someone managed to just be a little better in some regard. And I thought that going for a higher level of education could help me get better opportunities for jobs and maybe close that gap. And I thought about doing my master's for a while now, so I guess this just sort of incentivized me to go all in on it.
Yeah, and I knew for a while that I wanted to be some kind of person in the mental health field. So I knew that I wanted to get some kind of degree in mental health counseling. But when it came to Hood specifically, I think like a lot of people here, I had a friend of mine who was here in the graduate school already and kept talking about what a great place it was and how much she was learning and how enthusiastic all of her professors and all of that stuff was. And so it made me look into the school. And to be honest, I also kind of fell in love with the Frederick area. I really like hanging out around Frederick. I think it's kind of the perfect mix for me between kind of having that kind of downtown life and also having more of that space. So yeah, kind of the combination of all those things.
Yeah, similar to Patsy, I'm also in the counseling program, specifically the clinical mental health program. And I didn't really decide I wanted to pursue a master's degree until it was my last year in undergrad. I went to undergrad here at Hood, and I just remember thinking to myself, there's not really much I could do with a bachelor's in psychology because you need a master's or higher in the mental health field. So I really thought about it, and I was already comfortable with Hood, familiar with the area. I like a small town and I like a small college because I like being able to connect with my classmates and my professors. So applying to the master's program for me was a no-brainer to be at Hood because I don't think I would have done well outside of Hood. Also, you guys both, besides doing the social media posts, you guys do articles as well. So talk a little bit about that, what has been so far the coolest part of doing these articles and what's been the difficult part of it.
I can go ahead and get started. I kind of like what Cameron was saying before, the idea we write a lot of blog post articles and feature articles about students, professors, alumni, people in the Hood community, talking about all the cool stuff they're doing. I know just talking for me personally, I started the graduate school kind of in 2020, mid-pandemic, and it was a really cool way to get to learn more about the school and get to know more about the people at school. So, walking around, I was able to see more people. And we both covered different programs, but it's been really fun to learn about everything that Hood has going on. Oh, I'm trying to think of a specific article that I think is really cool, but I'm coming up with so many. Maybe Cameron could do a better job than I can.
Well, it's just been fascinating to be able to meet so many different people from not just Hood's faculty, but different alumni and other students in the grad program, get their perspectives on what brought them to Hood and what their experiences are like. It really shows just the widespread appeal of Hood and sort of, to me, cemented that I had made the good call in coming here for my undergrad and my master's degrees. Tough call to say what the most interesting article or story so far has been. I did one on someone who worked for the Department of Agriculture and was helping out local farms in Frederick, like helping them reduce pollution, but also getting grants for them. Oh, that was really neat because it was sort of a local impact thing. And I always love stories where people are giving back to the community, especially something as vibrant and welcoming as Frederick.
A little bit about the podcast. So a lot of the articles that you guys write, I get to meet with some of these people too, and I get to do like a follow-up with them, and I get to talk to them more in depth based on the article. And if you are listening or watching, you can find all the article information and all the graduate school information in the description. But I got to conduct some of these interviews and meet some of these people, and it's pretty cool. And I'm really excited for you guys to read some of these and listen to some of the people that we get to talk to. Outside of, being graduate students and social media ambassadors, are there other roles, organizations, other responsibilities that you guys have within the graduate school or within your graduate program?
I am, like I said before, I'm in the clinical mental health program, and also within a part of that, I was lucky enough to also be involved in the basically new NCTC site here at Hood College, the Neighborhood Counseling Training Center, which is a really cool new site where not only people in Hood College, like students, but also people in the greater Maryland community can come receive counseling at a sliding scale, or if you're a Hood College student, you can get it for free. Just putting that out there. And it's also staffed by the graduate students in the program. So not only are you getting people who are knowing the most updated information about counseling, but you're also getting it at that reduced price, and it's both telehealth and in person. I'm the clinic assistant for NCTC, and I'm also a site fellow there, and it's been really cool to basically watch be a part of the clinic kind of opening up and getting to see this whole other side of the counseling world. So there's my shout out to NCTC.
Well, for me, I started the program in the spring of this year, so I haven't gotten too far into stuff like internships and other responsibilities. I'm mostly just sticking to my current classes and working as grad assistant. This summer, though, I did do my first compressed summer class, and that was a very intense but illuminating experience. The professor I had, Dr. Joshi, I believe, was really helpful in figuring out the way those classes worked and how to sort of prepare for them and wrap around a different study schedule for them. So that was overall I thought I did pretty well with it, and it was a really unique experience because my typical time with classes had been in the 16-week schedule of the fall and spring.
I'm very similar to Cameron. My first year in the graduate school, I stuck to my studies, and I kind of worked to get my grades up and make sure I was on track to get to practicum and internship, similar to you, Patsy. And then when I saw that the graduate school was looking for another graduate assistant for the social media team, I reached out because I like social media and I like doing these kind of things. And I knew of this, I just didn't know how comfortable I would be, but now I'm learning that there are clubs and organizations within the counseling program for graduate students to participate. So then the more I got familiar with the program and my peers and my professors, the more comfortable I was like, I would like to participate, I would like to join. So I think it's on your own pace, not your own time, which I think is what I like a lot about the graduate school. It's very much at your own pace, at your own time, if you feel comfortable. And I think kind of leading up to that is what made me want to add more things and participate in more things, because I felt very secure in where I was in the graduate program, that I was like, okay, I don't have to worry so much. And it kind of transitioned well into participating in the community as well, in the Hood community. So with all the stuff that you guys have going on, how do you guys manage your time as graduate students and social media ambassadors, or in Patsy's case, also the clinic assistant for NCTC?
I try to break up parts of my day into a generalized schedule of like what I want to accomplish within not just a part of the day, but also a day of the week. So it helps that I already have the regimented structure from the classes, but there are also different events that and different interview opportunities that I have to take care of. So I just sort of break up my days and have a general idea of like I want to accomplish this on this day or do this by this point when it comes to studying. It also helps that different things when it comes to like doing readings for class, those are usually broken up into chapters as well, so I can just divide them up over the course of the week till the next class. It's mostly just a matter of micromanaging the different tasks I have, not just for class, but for the social media ambassador job until the next thing is due, whether that's an assignment or an article.
Yeah. I mean, I can at least say personally that it's been a series of trial and error, finding out what does and doesn't work for me. I didn't really have that much experience about just working at home before. I mean, of course, I think that's something that everybody has learned in the last couple of years, but it's been it's been a great skill to have that's gonna like help me in whatever path I choose to follow, is that kind of being able to sit down on my computer and make a to-do list and look at my schedule and keep my schedule updated and just be able to kind of follow through on that. I also have been very lucky to also be able to rely on other people as well, of being able to have a shared calendar with you guys and being able to have be able to check in with the NCTC staff, or being able to text my classmates what's due on this day. I forgot to write it down. So if there's any advice that I could give to basically anyone working from home, if you have the opportunity to get help from other people, definitely take it.
So as we begin to wrap up, what are you both looking forward to this semester, whether it's with your classes, articles, or just events on campus in general?
I always feel like I'm jinxing myself, but if all goes well, this will be my last semester at Hood, which is both very exciting and very, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm already getting nostalgic going to classes and saying hi to people and figuring out all that stuff. I've really enjoyed being able to be a clinic assistant at an NCTC and also finishing up my classes. I think like a lot of people here at Hood, you really become friends with the people in your classes, especially because being in a smaller school, you usually kind of see the same faces. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, it'll definitely be a little weird not to see the same people every day, but I also have been able to develop friendships where we'll still be able to hang out. So yeah, just be able to finish up my internship and finish up my classes. And yeah, I want to make sure I'm not jinxing anything.
As for me, I would say I'm just looking forward to seeing how these classes unfold and just seeing what it's like to work as a grad assistant during a regular semester. My first semester was in the summer, so there wasn't as much going on, but it feels like there's a lot more to do now in the fall, which I'm fine with. It's been pretty exciting, and overall I'm curious to see what sort of events I'll be taking part in or volunteering for, or what else will be going on with the job.
Before we wrap up, I just wanted to thank you guys both so much for meeting and doing this. It's really exciting. I'm looking forward for future episodes for everybody else listening. And I want to thank the graduate school for kind of bringing me on. It's kind of really exciting to do this. And be on the lookout for future episodes. We release episodes every other week so we're on a bi-weekly schedule. We have upcoming interviews with students, alums, so I'm really looking forward to those. And yeah, do you guys have anything you want to say before we end?
Thanks for having us. This has been fun.
Yeah, it has. And it's really nice to be able to represent Hood however I can, because I studied here undergrad as well, and I'm really happy to be giving back to the college.
Thank you for listening to A Degree Further, the official podcast of the graduate school at Hood College, where we help you go further in your life, in your career, and in your community. To catch up on all the latest episodes, visit hood.edu/a degree further. I'm your host, Amneya, and thank you for listening.